We are all human, but do we ever really give ourselves permission to be human and make mistakes and not be perfect all the time? Well, in this new book, author MaryBeth Hyland talks about why we need to give ourselves a break and easy tips on how to center ourselves and our families.
It's called Permission to Be Human, the Conscious Leader's Guide to Creating a Values-Driven Culture. So this idea of permission to be human, that's what's been catching people right in their tracks because that's what we need right now, right? I think that we've been going for so long, giving ourselves permission to be perfect. And we have come into a time in our world where we all need permission to be human, both to ourselves and that we're also giving that to others. So this whole book is about that idea. How do we start? How do we start to do that?
Yeah, what are your tips for helping, ground both ourselves and our families?
Yeah, this is a really big piece. So the book outlines a whole bunch of incredible mindfulness practices to help you become more conscious and aware. And when you think about the cultures and environments we're creating, a big one is at our home with our families, as you just said. And so one of the techniques that I love that depending on whether or not you have children and their ages, this is a good one that can work across the board if you have lots of different years in your household. So it's the idea of being able to utilize our breath. So when we hear about stress and anxiety, it's always coming from thinking about the past or the future.
Yes.
And so in order to start alleviating that stress, we can use our breath as a tool to ground us. So we can only breathe right now. We can't breathe in the present or in the past. It's only right now. So when we start to use that breath, it creates that grounding. And do you want to try this practice with me?
Let's do it, MaryBeth.
Okay, awesome. Okay. So you can put one hand on your heart and one on your belly. And just begin to breathe in and out through your nose and do everything you can to push your belly as far as you possibly can out. When we breathe in and out through our nose and we have our belly being the place that expands and contracts, we're activating our parasympathetic nervous system. And we're basically telling our body, we're not in stress, we are in rest and digest mode. And when we go through that, we can add another layer of saying to ourselves, I breathe in peace, I breathe out stress.
And if you keep doing that, it feels like a little bit of a tummy workout too. So you're also getting in shape. I like that.
Yeah. And with kids, young kids, I love this because when we do it, we talk about how far can you make your belly come into a balloon, right? It's really just training our bodies to activate these muscles and techniques that are going to naturally put us into that rest and relaxation state.
I love this. I'm doing this with the kids when they get home from school today. Talk about your take on the benefits of meditation, daily mantras, like you were mentioning about out with the stress, in with the good, and setting intentions and goals, because I know that is very important.
Yeah. So what we have learned, and thank goodness there is so much research out right now. Aetna actually did a recent study that showed that organizations that invested in mindfulness programs with the things you just talked about, meditation, mantras, intentions, goal setting, all those wonderful things, they found a $3,000 return on investment for every individual who was a part of those types of regular rituals and routines. And that was 11-time return on their investment for each person. When we are really purposeful or intentional about what we're going to do in our day-to-day practice, in our day-to-day existence, we can start to see massive shifts. So something as simple as in the beginning of a meeting, being able to say, the reason we're here is because blank, and I hope everyone leaves feeling blank.
I like that. I like that a lot. Going back to the allowing ourselves to be human portion, reflection, realignment, it's important for improving relationships, right?
Oh my goodness. Yes. Reflection is huge. I have this sort of three-parter: reflect, connect, grow. That's how it works. When we reflect, we're able to make new connections, and then we grow and evolve as human beings. And when we can do that in community, everyone grows and evolves. It's an exponential experience. I think particularly when it comes to these ideas of stress, we're often suffering silently and we think we have to take it all on ourselves and that nobody else could possibly understand what you're going through. But the truth is, everybody else is in their version. And so when you can reflect together and you can understand, I'm not alone in this, you can start to really make some meaningful connections and grow both as individuals and as a community.
Such great advice.